Oh no. Okay, here we go. Hello and welcome to Study Chinese with me. On this channel, you can find videos of me studying French, Chinese, and Russian. Today we will be studying Chinese. If you are a Chinese learner, probably this is going to be like an intermediate level to advanced. All of the videos that I produce are going to be intermediate to advanced. I'm an advanced level. Uh, I have a undergraduate degree in Chinese law that was taught in Chinese. So I lived in China for 10 years. But the thing is, like, I'm not really happy with my current Chinese level. And yeah, I've never actually really been that satisfied with my Chinese level. One of the problems with my Chinese level is that, like, when I went to church on Sundays in Shanghai, there were some guys that could like really, I mean, I'm talking about American white guys that could really speak really good Chinese, and they were translators. They could translate. And I remember, like, I went to this one Christmas party one time and they asked me to translate, and I was like, I couldn't do it. So what I discovered is that my Chinese isn't so great, and I took 10 years off. I haven't been speaking Chinese for 10 years. I've been learning Russian in the meantime, and then about a year and a half to 2 years ago, I started learning French. So, anyways, enough of an introduction. Let's begin. If you want to study Chinese, probably the first thing that you need is one of these. It's a very magical thing. It's called paper, which is strange, right? Because we're living in a digital world, and the first thing I tell you is that you need a piece of paper. In fact, every single lesson, probably, I'm going to be using paper in a couple of different ways because my understanding of the world, now that I've studied language for so long, my understanding of learning a language consists of one fact. There's one fact above all others, which is that if you want to learn a language, you have to have one of these, and you have to have one of these. And maybe you're like, nah, you're an old man. You're not right. Okay, maybe, but remember, I speak three foreign languages, so I might have an opinion. And also, I've been able to like distinguish the difference between like what was different about the languages, what was different about me as a person during these periods where I've been studying different languages, what's different about the languages themselves, and also what are some of the differences in the strategy that I've used as I've studied language. So, welcome aboard, and hopefully we can stay motivated and keep working. I'd like to be able to produce at least one video a week of learning Chinese, which is basically my review from my Chinese lesson on Tuesday. I had a Chinese lesson on Tuesday, and the tutor was like, okay, well, next time I see you, you better tell me what's the meaning of 出尔反尔. And I was like, 凡人. No, I wasn't like that, because in China, you can't call your teacher a 凡人. It's not a nice thing to say. 凡人 means annoying. 你这个凡人. Um, yeah, if I was gonna do two lessons a week, if I was going to do like a video every single night, like imagine I do 6 videos a week, two Chinese, two Russian, and two French. How would I do that? Well, in China, you have two extremely important words. One is called 复习, which means review, and the next one is called 预习, 预习, which means preview. Preview is a very, very important word because, especially in language, like for example, imagine me in law school, and if I don't learn the words before class, like the lessons, when I went to law school, like the classes, these are not language classes, these are law classes. And there was an expectation, obviously, when I'm sitting beside, like, there's like 160 Chinese students. These aren't normal Chinese students. These are the top. I went to the top university in their nation, and uh, they all read the textbook. Like, they know what the lesson is going to be about. They all 预习. They knew what the professor was going to talk about. They knew the everything about what the lesson was going to be about. They already have looked at the test questions from previous years, and they're sitting there waiting for the teacher to say something so that they could understand what's the difference, what's the nuance, what's how can they get ahead, because these are the most competitive kids in their whole country. They've always been the most competitive. They've always been the smartest in their district, in their regions, and then now they're in a room full of the smartest. 尖子班，尖子，尖子, it's like genius, the genius class. So I'm like just a rumpity bumpity redneck from Calgary, Alberta. Actually, from southern Alberta, from Glenwood, Alberta, and so I got to make sure I sit in the right place so your audio is as good as we can get it, considering I'm just using a MacBook. All right, so I just cut the pages into however many this is. All right, so what's our goal today? 1 character, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 characters. We want to write down we want to have 16 characters written down by the end of what we study today. So we're going to go one by one and we're going to write down these characters. And then what we can do tomorrow is when I wake up tomorrow morning, I can just flip through these things again. That'll definitely help with the memorization. Now, if you're new to Chinese, here's your first 100 Chinese characters. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, obviously, I've already been through this. I moved to China in 2003, so I already know all these characters. I learned these characters in my first couple of weeks of learning Chinese. At the time, I learned about between 10 and 15 characters a day. For over a year, for like a year and a half. Yeah, it's just one line. Anyways, this isn't a beginner class. This is an advanced class. So we're going to start with 出尔反尔. 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 So 出 is like to 出, like when you say it, 出, and then you can see it. It's like, oh, something's going out. And 反 is to return. Now, we have a few study aids. Obviously here we can kind of like zoom in. Also, let's just go to the right one. Also, what I've done is I said, look, so I'm going to use the audio mode, speak Chinese. I will switch to the Gemini app. We can discuss this Chengyu, 出尔反尔, and then I pasted the text. OK， 好的，没问题，我已经准备好了。出尔反尔这个成语确实非常有意思，虽然它现代汉语中通常指人言而无言。So they're using like another 成语 to explain the what does this mean? So okay, so it says, no problem, I'm ready. The idiom is indeed very interesting. Although modern Chinese usually refers to someone who is untrustworthy and fickle. Untrustworthy and fickle. 言而无言. 反复无常. 反复无常 is, I guess, fickle. Judging from the Mencius anecdote you shared, its original meaning actually comes from the sentence in the Mencius, Book 4, Part 2. What you give you will receive in return. 但从你分享的孟子what is this 典故来看，它最初的含义其实源于 this book. So it's a book from 孟子中的内句 from this word. Okay, so you can see actually 出尔反尔. You see the 出 is here, the 尔 is here, the 反 is here, and the second 尔 is here. This happens in Chinese a lot, where they'll take like 4 characters, they'll shorten it down into 2 characters. So what is this sentence saying, in fact? What you give, you will receive in return. Okay. All right, good. So it's fine. I think that we have a basic idea. All right, so how are we going to go about this? We need to read it. Now, one way that we can read it, one of the probably the best way to do it is we'll go back to this. We'll go back to this one because I had it do some work earlier. All right, here we go. So in this one, we have the pinyin on the left side, and then we have the English translation on the right side. All right, 出尔反尔. Paragraph 1. First, we're going to try it without looking at the pinyin because, like, we need to. Our main goal is to get 16 characters down. So we got what is this? 战国时候,战国时候,战国时候. Now I do have this like Google Gemini over here. So let's talk to Google Gemini. 请问战国是什么时候？
战国时期是中国历史上的一个重要时期，通常起自公元前475年至公元前221年，秦统一六国。它是东周的后阶段，也是中国历史上一个充满变革与竞争的时代。你对战国时期的哪些方面感兴趣呢？
All right. Well, that was pretty intense. Now, I don't know. This is the new. This just came out today, so I'm not really sure if there's anything. Nothing really changed. All right. Let's take a look. 战国时期是中国历史上的一个重要时期，通常起自公元前475年至公元前221年。Okay, 200, is it 200 or 200? So it looks like the time is between 公元前. 公元前 means the before. It's like before the Common Era. So this is before the Common Era. It looks like it's around 150, 221 to 320 to 420, 264 years, 254 years. Okay, good. And what's this? So somebody is Liu Yi. What is this, Liu Yi? The Warring States period is an important period of Chinese history, generally beginning from this until this, with the unification of the 6 states by Qin. Is this Qin Shi Huang? It's the early stages of the Eastern Zhou dynasty, an era of great change and competition in Chinese history. What aspects of the Warring States period? So the Warring States period, I guess this is when the 6 states became one. And so I guess this is Qin Shi Huang. 请问这个庆是秦始皇？
不，此处的秦是指秦朝，也就是秦始皇建立的朝代。战国时期的结束正是以秦统一六国为标志。你是对秦始皇的生平或相关历史感兴趣吗？
So she said no, it's not. I'm kind of curious what she said. No, Qin here refers to Qin dynasty. Qin dynasty established by Qin Shi Huang. Warring States period ended with Qin's unification of the 6 states. Are you interested in Qin Shi Huang's life or related history? Okay, so I mean it's basically the same concept. So this is the Qin dynasty. So if you see the Terracotta Warriors, then you'll know about this guy Qin Shi Huang. And it says, look, it's like 统一六国. So he unified the 6. So at this time there were 6 states, and he had to unify them into one country.
你说的没错，秦始皇。
Go ahead.
Where have you been? 是蕾哈娜的一首流行歌曲。你是想了解这首歌吗？还是有别的意思？
No, I cut you off. You were going to say something, and then because I started talking, it cut you off, and you didn't finish what you wanted to say. Huh, it killed it. Yeah, you were just cut off earlier. You were mentioning something about Qin Shi Huang, and then because I started talking again, you weren't able to finish what you were saying.
哦，不好意思，我刚才是想说，秦始皇统一六国之后，对中国历史上产生了深远的影响，包括统一文字、度量衡和车轨等，对中华文明的形成和发展具有重要意义。你对这方面感不感兴趣？
没有，我现在是学习第一个，就是第一段，就是他这样写的是战国时候有一年，奏国在与鲁国的交战中吃了败仗，死伤了许多将士。
是的，你读得很正确。这一段是对整个故事背景的铺垫，交代了邹国和鲁国之间的战争以及邹穆公的态度。接下来，孟子是如何回应的呢？
All right, so let's practice that. 郑国的时候, that's not so difficult. 郑国的时候有一年, so this should be, I don't know, that's debatable. 有一年, okay. 邹国. Now my teacher, she said this should be fourth tone. She said it 邹国. All right, so this is our first character, is 邹. Z-O-U, and the teacher's from Beijing, and she tells me that it's supposed to be the fourth tone. All right, so here's our first character, number 1. 邹国, 邹国. Maybe on the back of the card, I'll just write 邹国. Yeah, 邹国. So this is a country. This is one of the. I guess it must be one of the 6 states. So is 邹国 one of the 6 states?
邹国并不是战国七雄之一，战国七雄通常指的是齐、楚、燕、韩、赵、魏、秦这7个国家。邹国在当时一个相对较小的国家。你对战国时期的其他国家或历史事件还有兴趣了解吗？
Okay, so the thing is, like, she said no, it's not one of the 6, actually 7 apparently, 7 countries. It's just a little teeny country. All right, we got 邹国在于鲁国. So 鲁国 is also a new character. Lu. Now the problem with the word in Chinese, you have lu and you have lu. So they have 2 forms of the L sound with a U after it. Lu and lu. This one is lu guo. In fact, lu is very rare. 考虑. So if you're thinking about something, 考虑, it's a lu. But lu, I think it's a donkey, maybe? It's also liu. Liu is also liu. All right, so one way to do it is we can just write the letters L-U. Lu. How about this one? Lu cha. What does lu cha mean? Huh. Yeah, it's really rare. I wouldn't worry about it too much. 战国的时候，有一年，纣国在与鲁国的交战中。So here it is, 交战中. So in the midst of their fighting. During the Warring States period, there was a year when the state of Zhou suffered a defeat in the battle against the state of Lu, resulting in the death and injury of many soldiers. What is it? 交战中. So we don't actually see the word 交战中. I mean, maybe it means in battle. In a battle. So 交战中 means in a battle they ate defeat. So here we go. They suffered defeat in a battle. There it is. is it 交? Yeah, 交战中吃了. Now this is a 败仗. It's kind of a challenge. All right, so here's our Lu. All right, next word is 败仗. I'm tempted to 败仗 means they 吃了败仗. Now maybe on the back I might write the whole sentence, right? So it says 交战中. 交战中吃了败仗吃了败仗. All right, so we got the this one. We got 交战中吃了败仗. Every sentence in Chinese is a tongue twister. 死伤了. This is the third tone, the first tone. 死伤了许多将士. Now, I would say that this is like, it's like it's a newish word. I don't know. 将士, because this, like, 将, the word 将什么东西做什么. So this is a common character, and also 士 is also common. So, I mean, you should know that this is 将士. All right, so there's a war, and the state of Zou suffered a defeat in battle against the state of Lu, resulting in the death and injury of many soldiers. Good. All right, so let's see how well we can do with the next one. Oh, look at that. How's that? This must be much better. All right, now, so we got some strange words here. We got Zou, and then Zou. What's this next one? So Gong, in this case, Gong is probably like a duke or some kind of like leader. And then this is their country. So let's see what that means. English. Let's go to Duke Mu of Zou. Now, it's kind of a weird... I asked my teacher, like, I said, so if this is Zou and this is Gong, so if Gong, it means duke, and then this is like the Duke of Zou, and then is this his name? His name is Mu. And she's just like, no, that's just like his title. And I said, well, so what is Mu? And then she went on to explain. Yeah, we can ask the AI. Oh, my phone is it's gonna shut off because I have a bedtime mode is paused. Resume it. Okay. Anyways, my phone's just gonna shut off eventually. All right. So in the second paragraph, it says in Chinese, it says Zou Mu Gong. So like my question is Zou Mu Gong. It says the English translation. It's the Duke Mu of Zou. So like my question is, Like Mu, what's the Mu? Is that his name or is that his title?
穆在这里更像是他的敕号或称号，而不是名字。在古代汉语中，谥号是君主或贵族去世后被授予的，用来评价他们的一生。所以邹穆公就是邹国的国君，穆是他的敕号。你对这种称谓体系感兴趣吗？
Not even the smallest. All right, so she had an interesting explanation, but I don't know what that word is that she used. See, she said 木在这里更像是她的 What does this mean? Something 号或者称号。Mu is more like a posthumous title or honorific rather than its given name. The classical Chinese, the posthumous title was bestowed upon a monarch or noble after their death to evaluate their life. Therefore, this one refers to the ruler of the state Zou. Zou is his posthumous title. All right, so it's not his name. There you go. See, that's the issue. Sometimes, like, you have a lesson and then it's like she explains it, and I'm like, I have no idea what you just said. Duke Mu of Zou was very angry and said to Mencius, "In this war, 32 of my officials were killed, yet not a single ordinary citizen risked their life for them." 邹穆公很生气，对孟子说：这次战争，我手下的公员有32个被杀死，可没有一个老百姓为他们拼命。拼命is like this is has more than one meaning. 拼命在这个就是说，在这段有一句话写的是可没有一个老百姓为他们拼命。然后我想知道，就是说，比如说我拼命跑步，我拼命学习，这个拼命我以为是四声，然后这里写的是四声三声，你觉得呢？
拼命的读音确实是拼命，两个都是四声，可能是你在阅读时或者听的时候产生了误解。在你提到的句子中，没有一个老百姓为他们拼命的意思是没有一个老百姓愿意冒着生命危险去营救他们。你对这句的理解还有疑问吗？
Yeah, right. So nobody risked their life for them. So 拼命 is to risk your life. Now but if you use it to say that like as an adverb, then it means that you tried really, really hard. You put all of your effort into it. 可是没有老百姓为他们拼命。他们的眼睛，what is this? This is like this. It means this. So this character here, it just means that it's an adverb. So they're using this to describe this. 看着长官被杀. Okay, so this, it means their eyes, you see the characters, their eyes are open. They watched with open eyes as their superiors were killed. They did not go to the rescue them. It is truly detestable. Now, this is our next character because, I mean, it's going to be Jing or Zhang. Zheng, okay, it's Zheng, okay, Zheng, 眼睁睁，他们眼睁睁的。What? They got an extra letter in here. 他们眼睁睁的看着长官被杀，却不去管救他们，真的可惜。What is this? 可恶。All right, so the first one is 可恶 detestable. Our next character is 可恶 Detestable. Now, this one I actually have to write down the English word because I won't remember that. So we got our next one is detestable. Bai Zhang. What was Bai Zhang? Bai Zhang means that they lost. They were defeated. And we got Lu Guo and Zou Guo. We got four. So 4 out of 16 so far. What this one? 眼睁睁的睁睁. Now in this case, in fact, so oh yeah, that's the other problem. I need to write the pinyin. 可恶. 眼睁睁,眼睁睁. Now this is the fun thing about. So I really like Chinese, the Chinese language. Obviously, after all these years, I'm sitting here studying Chinese for fun at 1 o'clock in the morning because I just can't find another time to do it, and I'm just like really really tired. And zheng zheng, I'm gonna die. But what else are you gonna do? Like, you have to do it sometime. If you don't do it, if you never do it, you'll never improve. So you gotta do it sometime. You gotta force yourself somehow. 眼睁睁,眼睁睁. So speaking Chinese is crazy because it's like it's so fun. It's like 眼睁睁,眼睁睁. It's all the sounds are so funny to Westerners. It looks like you can hear the dog barking. Sorry about that. Okay, let's continue. So, what happened? They watched with their open eyes. Okay, we heard that part already. 要是杀了他们吧，要是杀了他们吧. What does that mean? 要是杀了他们吧，要是杀了他们吧。那我们再下一个，就是我看写的是要是杀了他们吧，是什么意思？
要是杀了他们吧，是邹穆公说的一句话，表达他对那些老百姓的愤怒和纠结。因为老百姓没有去营救将士，他既想惩罚他们，但又碍于人数众多而犹豫不决，这体现了他当时的复杂心情。你对邹穆公的想法有什么看法吗？
All right, so so this is an actual quote. Okay, here it is actually. So you can see here's the quotation. So he says 钥匙. So this 钥匙, I remember the first time I learned the word yao. So I was in a restaurant and my teaching aide, she was like, so we were doing team teaching. I was teaching some English lessons to some kids, and she was like, the 服务员, the service person said, "Hey, would you like this?" And she said, 不要. And so I said, "What is the meaning of yao?" And she said, "It means I'm not going to take that." 不要. So later, as I've learned Chinese, I would say that like 要,不要,你要还是不要? It's like, do you want this? Is it? But then the first time I ever heard the translation of it, she said it means I'm not going to take it. Here, 要是, it actually means if. 要是他们, it's like if I were to kill them, 要是杀了他们吧，他们人太多，杀不完. So if I were to kill them, there's just too many of them, and it would just take too long to kill them. 不杀吧, but if I don't kill them, 又难解我心头的恨，怎么办呢? All right, so if I don't kill them, then how am I going to resolve the hate, the the pain in my heart? If I execute them, there are too many of them to finish. If I don't execute them, it fails to appease the hatred in my heart. What should I do? All right, so no new words here. That's okay. 孟子回答，孟子回答道：有一年，okay, I don't know this word. What is this? Men, is it men or is it nen? And then what is this one? Was this Huang or some Wang? And what is this? Mie or what is this? So I got too many. Men, Mie, Huang. Those are my best guesses. 有一年，年闹灾荒，有一年闹灾荒，闹，okay, 闹，here it is, 闹灾荒，闹灾荒. Okay, Huang, that looks like hungry to me. And Zai, it looks like some kind of disaster. And Nao, Nao Zhong. Okay, so there's a word in Chinese called Nao Zhong. It means to set your alarm. So if somebody is Nao Zai Zhong, is that what it says? Zai Nao Zai Huang. Let's write the pinyin down first. Nao Zai Huang. Nao Zai Huang. So I mean, I just remember it from my lesson earlier, yes, in the week. So it means there was a famine. Now, 灾荒. All right, next one is 闹灾荒. And 许多老百姓饿死在山或者山谷荒野，山谷荒野，山谷荒野，山谷荒野. Now, I would say maybe, probably, since, I don't know, maybe we should just write that one. I got to write this one horizontally. 山谷，山谷荒野. Now, I mean, obviously, Shangu, this is like the mountains and the valleys and the something and the wild. So I'm not really sure what this, because this means hungry or famine. So why are we seeing the same character twice? 之中有1000多个. What is this? 丈一千壮年人. Okay, so it's a certain kind of person. 壮年人, 壮年人外出逃荒侨荒. Wow, it's like a lot of new words in this one. 侨荒. What did they? So why is it that we see the word huang 3 times? That's the weird part. 侨荒山谷荒野. I can probably remember that. All right. So Mengzi replied, there was a year of famine when many ordinary people starved to death. So it just means famine. So now, 灾荒, it just means there was a famine. When many ordinary people starved to death in the valleys and so that huang, it means to starve to death. Starve to death in the valleys in the wilderness. All right, so we got starved in the valley in the wilderness. And more than 1,000 young, able-bodied men. 1,000 able-bodied men. What was it? 1,000多个壮年人. So this is the men in their prime. 壮 means to be strong. Let's ask actually. 那我问一下，我想问一下，这个有1000多个壮年人，这个壮是有力量、有力气的人吗？还是在一个人的就是最有力量的时期？
壮年人在这里侧重于年龄的范畴，通常指的是体力充沛、精力旺盛的时期，大致相当于青壮年。所以它既包含了有力量、有力气的意思，也指代特定的年龄阶段。你对这个词语的理解清楚了吗？
All right, so let's take a look at the translation. I mean, so I understand exactly what she said, but the thing is, there's too many new words. Okay, so 壮年人在这里 what is this? 侧重于年龄的范畴，通常指的是体力充 something, so it's full of energy, 精力, you know, it's like all these words like that. A middle-aged person. Here that emphasizes the age range, usually referred to a period of abundant physical strength, energy, roughly equivalent to the young adulthood. Therefore, it encompasses both strength and power. Also refers to a specific age group. Refers to a specific age group. Middle-aged. All right. So what's 调黄? Who fled. Fled the disaster to seek relief. Fled the disaster. Okay. That's a lot of new words. All right, let's keep it going. My phone's still not shutting off. It'll turn off eventually. Let's check to see if there's minute time is paused. 2 minutes. Resume now. Eh. Wait, did we just did it 2 minutes ago? Okay, yet at that time your majesty's granaries were still full and the state treasury was abundant, but those officials in charge of money and grain failed to report this severe disaster to you. Wow. 而那时大王的粮库还是满满的，国也很充足，可那些管钱粮的官员却不向您汇报的严重。What was this one? 情而那时大王的粮仓 so this is 仓库 the bank or storage 粮仓还是满满的 what's this 国库 all right, so there's these two words means the same thing 粮仓 and 国库 it means storage the granaries were still and the state treasury 国库 国库 is state treasury. I'm gonna put both of these words on the same card. So we got 粮仓 and 国库. 粮仓国库. And all right, there we go. We got another one. So we got the granary and the state treasury. 嗯，可是那些关钱粮，okay, so then 钱 money and grain，可是那些关，so those what 关，but those officials in charge of the money and grain 管 this means to manage, and this is 官员, this is the officials. 可是那些管钱粮的官员却不向您汇报这严重的 disaster. I don't know, 会 what is it? 会 or 灾 a 灾 like another one of these 灾. All right, so this is another word we've hit it twice now. 灾 灾. All right, now I just ran into a really big problem with my character. 灾情. And this is one of the big issues with Chinese. All right, so you see, like I wrote the oops, I wrote the thing the wrong direction, and so then I tried to correct it. But the problem with Chinese is you can't correct things. It's game over. Because if you add another line or something, then it completely changes the character. So, and my whiteout, it's like from 2 years ago, so I don't think it's gonna work. I did actually. So also everyone, we need to get new whiteout because this whiteout is not gonna last much longer. You know, in China, you spend a lot of time with whiteout. This is the worst part because like you want it to dry faster. You know, you learn a lot about whiteout in China. They have because they have like whiteout, which is like a strip, like it just like sticks. It's like white tape. You just go right, and then it's dry. You can immediately write on it. All right, how many cards do we have left? One, two, three, four, five. We got 5 cards left. Great. 他们高高在上，what 他们 the officials were 高高在上, they were way up looking down, 不顾 not taking care of 百姓的 something 苦, what is this one 苦还 uh-oh, what is this 赞害, what is this something 害百姓. All right, what are we looking for? We're looking for 疾苦, 残害, 疾苦. Your power down. Your device will power down at 8. Your device will be powered off in 18 seconds. Cancel. There we go. Nice. All right, we still got power. All right, so we need to write these two. All right, they sat high above, ignoring the suffering of the people and even brought harm upon them. All right, so we got the suffering, we got the harm, and we only have 5 pieces of paper left. So let's put both of those on one piece of paper. Suffering, and is, what is it? 疾苦, 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 疾苦. And what's the other one? 残害, 残害, which is what? Suffering and even brought harm. 残害. All right, check it out. We got another one. All right, last four. 回顾了这令人痛心的往事后，孟子又说：孔子，孔子的弟子曾子曾经这样说过，要敬 something 啊。So it's like some kind of like the disciples of Confucius. One of the disciples of Confucius, 曾子, said that he said, "Pay attention," 这样对待别人，别人也将怎样对待你。Okay, but this is just the golden rule, right? 你怎么样对待别人 so the way that you treat other people, 别人也将这样对待你. They're going to treat you the same way in return. So, I mean, whether or not that's true. After reviewing the distressing past, review 回顾了这令人回顾 what is this review is 回顾 is review 回顾了这令人痛心的往事后 after reviewing this distressing past. So 回顾了 so remembering it means remembering 令人 so this means to make to give someone a feeling of distress 往事后回顾了等等等等的往事后 after reviewing this situation. What is this? 令人痛心的往事 What is 往事？哎，我想问一下，我现在在看这个回顾了令人痛心的往事后，这个往事啥意思？
往事就是指过去发生的事情。在这个故事里，令人痛心的往事就是特指孟子提到的那一年闹灾荒、百姓饿死的情况。孟子通过回顾这些来启发邹穆公反思为政之道。
Okay, so like 往 usually 往，比如说你如果说往右拐 so if you said like I want to turn right 往右拐，往右 to the right 往 to the left 往左拐 it means toward, but she's saying it means to like toward the past. 往事 means some past situation. 孟子又说回顾了 so I don't know like could I write this if somebody asked me to write it? Probably not. Do I recognize it when I see it? Yeah. 这令人痛心 now, but I don't know if this one. So sometimes I think this is a 多音字 so I don't know if it's 四声 it might be 四声痛心 yeah, there you go. 痛心的往事后，孟子又说，孔子的弟子 here we go. Confucius disciple 曾子 now how do we actually say that? 弟子曾子弟子曾子 now I don't know it's like 弟子 so 弟子 means disciple 弟子 I don't know 弟弟子 I think I could have gotten that now but I don't know about 曾子 I have no idea who 曾子 is. Maybe we need to write it down. 曾子 曾子 now you see this is kind of interesting. You see this one is 曾子 and then immediately it has the same character. So one says 曾 and one is 曾. You see, look, the two characters are identical. 曾子曾经. So I think I'm going to write this both here because it's interesting to learn the 多音字, a double pronunciation. 曾子曾子曾经曾经曾子曾经. All right, we got three left. 这样说要敬. Okay, what is this? 警惕要警惕. You should be careful. Be on your guard. 警惕啊要警惕啊. I don't know about that. 要警惕啊. 哎，我问一下，我想知道这个拼音是对的吗？要警惕呀。
是的，拼音是对的。要警惕呀的拼音是要警惕。这句话在故事中是曾子说的，用来提醒邹穆公。
So does that sentence, does it mean like you should be careful, or does it say you should be on guard?
It's closer to you should be on guard or be vigilant. In this context, it's a solemn warning from Zengzi to Zhou Mugong, implying that one's actions will have consequences, specifically in how people react to them. Does that make the meaning clearer?
Da, da, that's Russian. You know, I'm having such a hard time recently with speaking to my Russian tutor because like I'll talk to her after I talk to the French tutor, and like I can't switch over to Russian so easily. Chinese is easy, you know. Boom. I got 10 years in China, but my Russian's always been a problem. Maybe tomorrow night, we'll do another live video. We'll do Russian. 怎么样对待别人，别人也将怎样对待你。好啊。So there we go. I don't know what that number is. 14, I guess. So we got two more. 现在百姓有了富报复的机会. So they had the opportunity to get you back. Other people have the opportunity for revenge. 当然就会用同样的手段对待那些官员了。哇，现在百姓，yeah，有了报复的机会，当然就会用同样的手段对待那些官员了。That is what it says. Next, all right. 最后孟子还告 What's this? Warn? Finally admonish the Duke, saying, Please, Your Majesty, do not blame them and do not punish them. 最后孟子还what is it? 告诫 looks like a 戒 or 告诫。孟子还告成承诺 is it the 承诺的承? Now, of course, in Chinese, the way that they explain. So the thing is, like, I had this conversation with a Chinese girl the other day, and we were discussing like international languages. Why is English the international language when Chinese is actually easier than English? Because there's no grammar. I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but like there's no grammar. Okay, so 最后, this is just a word. Finally, 最后, most last. It says most last. 孟子 still say 告成 admonish. Anyways, you don't change the characters. Like let's say first of all, you don't have masculine and feminine nouns. You don't have any. You don't even have plural. You just have nouns. They're all just that. That's a noun. And then your adjectives, they never change. The only grammatical word, there's two grammatical words that we've seen in this entire section, in this entire thing. 战国的时候，有一年，奏国与鲁国的交战中吃了败仗，死伤了许多将士。There's no group. Oh, here, this is the only thing. So this is like a finished action. They lost. It signifies past tense. That's it. 奏穆公很生气，对孟子说：“这次战争，我手下的管员有32个被杀死，可没有一个老百姓为他们拼命。拼命是拼命，拼命。I think it's yeah we discussed that 拼命。他们眼睁睁的看着。Okay, this is to say that this is an adverb. It's describing the word 看着。长官被杀，却管救，不去管救他们，真是可恶。要是杀了他们吧。So here's past tense or finished action. If we were to kill them, so a finished action. 他们人太多，说不完，不杀吧，又难解我心的之恨，怎么办呢？之恨。孟子回答道：有一年闹remember this one？灾荒，闹灾荒，闹灾荒，闹灾荒也闹灾荒，许多老百姓饿死在山谷荒野之中，有1000多个壮年人外出瞧荒。而那时大王的粮仓还是满满的，国库也很充足。那些管钱粮的官员却不向您汇报的严重灾情。他们高高，他们高高在上，不顾百姓的噔噔噔噔噔噔噔噔噔噔。I forgot this one. 疾苦。This was a really new word for me. 疾苦，还残害百姓。回顾了这令人痛心的往事后，孟子又说：孔子的弟子曾子曾经这样说过：要警惕啊！你怎样对待别人，别人怎么样对待你。现在百姓有了报复的机会，当然就会用同样的手段的对待这些官员了。最后，孟子还告成 Here we are. We're back to 告成. All right, so now we're on the last word, last card. 告成赠母公说，请大王不要去侵。What is this？不要去责怪 blame means blame. Don't blame them. Yeah. 责怪他们，也不要惩罚他们 and don't punish them. 如果施行这个噔噔噔噔 what is this? If there's another battle, if you practice benevolent governance, benevolent. Okay, this is 治, so 人 what is it? 人治 人证，如果施行人证，您的黎民百姓自然就会拥护他们的长官，并不惜为他们献躯自己的生命。What？并不，What is this？并不惜为他们的不惜为，they will not hesitate to lay down their own lives for them。这个故事中，曾子说的怎样对待别人，别人怎么样去对待你，就是成语出尔反尔的出处。它被记录在孟子的这部书中，现在一段被用来比喻一个人言行不一、反复无王，who's fickle and constantly changing his mind. Fickle and constantly changing. So there's like two meanings here. Well, we still have one card. So I'm gonna use this card just to so I'm gonna put all my cards together. And on the top card, I'm just gonna write the word like the Chengyu, the actual Chengyu. 出尔反尔。And I'm going to take them to my bed and then I'm going to sleep on them at night and maybe that'll help. Well, thank you for joining me today. This might be the first, this might be the last. This might happen again. This maybe not. So we'll see what happens, but that was a very wonderful experience spending the last hour and a little bit with you. And instead of playing video games and doing nothing, we learned some Chinese characters. So imagine what life will be if we can somehow force ourselves to do this every day until it becomes too cold to do this again. It means we will be able to accumulate a huge, vast amount of knowledge, double our Chinese skills, Russian skills, and French skills, and the world will be a better place.